Hello and welcome to Euphoria and our stream of Free League Publishing's Coriolis, the Great Dark, a dark and nihilistic game about the exploration of the farthest and most desperate reaches of space. As such, be aware that the following content warnings for the stream include allusions to death, cosmic horror, moments of threat and peril, body horror, loss of limbs, and substance abuse. And we will meet our brave adventurers soon. But if you want to follow Euphoria on their socials, you can do so via all of the links below. And I thoroughly recommend that you do so. But who are those who join us for this embarking into the unknown? Drac, let's start with you.
Yeah, hi, I'm Jack or Drakoniques. I use he, they pronouns, and I do teach RPG stuff. Anything and everything teacher related, I'm doing or will be doing in the near future. You can follow me on all socials at Drakoniques. It's Drakoniques. And I'm very, very excited to explore space with everyone in this very obviously light-hearted, joyous, and jovial series, right?
I've got to do some rewriting, really.
Oh, please.
But that brings us on to Fiona. Hello.
Hello. When I'm not being suddenly surprised being second. My name is Fiona. I use she, her pronouns. And when I'm not doing TTRPG stuff, you can find me all over the internet at What Am I Rolling, which is a twice monthly tabletop RPG one-shot podcast. We do lots of different RPG systems and stuff. But yeah, I'm excited to go to space. I think it's the right term, right? Space. So yeah, very excited for this little series.
Wonderful. And Kash. Hello.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kash. I also use she, her pronouns. I'm going to say light-skinned black woman with very beautiful curly hair, and I'm wearing a very nice brown jacket that goes with my light-skinned brown skin. So, I also do TTRPG stuff, and I like rolling dice every now and then, so this is why I joined this stream.
Heck yeah.
And Darcy. Hello.
Hey, hi, how are you? Are we just here for a catch up? That'd be great.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, there are other people here, but don't mind them. They're
can join
greeting
in.
our conversation. Yeah.
All right then. Hey friends, I'll introduce myself before we chat. It's me, JC Darcy. I use they she pronouns, and I'm one of the co-founders here at Euphoria, and I relentlessly and shamelessly dropped myself into this game so that Fiona and I could be Ed's problem. That is essentially why
hang on. I'm my own problem in these games, so
we may have many problems.
And I am Edward Spence. He, him. I am your GM for this game. You can find me everywhere on the socials at Edward_Spence_. Which socials? Who knows? Everything's burning down, but you can find me there. And thank you so much for having me here. And thank you, Free League, for allowing us to embark into the unknown as we delve into Coriolis, the Great Dark. Chapter 1. Orpheus. Once, from out of the vast unknown, there was a beacon. Faint. Then there were those who followed. Explorers. And at the end, the beacon died. And they were stranded. Alone. But this was not the end. For even against this barren, lost horizon, the wastes of Jamua, humanity reached out. From Ship City, once a temporary settlement, now become humanity's bastion, a labyrinthine collection of ships gathered over time, delving parties are sent out, in the belief that one day the long dead beacon shall be uncovered, and the purpose for its drawing them revealed. For there was once life amongst these stars. Its evidence found in the hulking artifacts left behind, ships, structures, mausoleums to a long-dead civilization. But who were they? And is it for humanity to know? Who is to say? And yet, the explorers persist. Accompanied by Garuda, strange raven-like creatures native to this part of space, the Explorers Guild presses ever outwards, in search of resources, in search of hope, in search of light, amongst the stars, amongst the ruins, against the great darkness. Darkness surrounds you. And voices too. Echoes. Soul screams. You feel grasping tendrils all about you, both warm and cold, burning and freezing your mind, body, and soul. It grips, it tears, it screams, it screams, and it screams, and it screams, and you hear a voice, alien and at once familiar, your voice, as you scream, "My leg! I can't feel my leg!" And you wake. The creaking hull of the ship's quarters, echoing all around you. Drak, would you like to describe the figure who wakes?
In a cold sweat, Chidi Abara, or Dr. Chidi Abara, jolts awake, grasping at their left leg and feeling nothing below, just below the knee. And they sigh, and you see a femme person, about 5'8", black with black, almost dark brown hair, currently in probably a mess, is probably up in a kind of half up, half down do, but right now it's just all over the place at this point after stirring and moving in fits of discomfort and fear in their sleep. They're currently in their pajamas, which is like very dark, probably old clothes that they maybe would have worn out at some point, but now it's gotten way too many holes for it to be decent to wear in public. So now it's just their pajamas. You can see they're probably about maybe 30, mid-30s, and have some gray and silver hair already growing in their hair. And by their bedside is kind of stood up, leaning against their bed, is a prosthetic leg. And they wipe the sweat off their forehead and move to swing their leg over the bed and attach their prosthetic.
As you do, this coldness of these unfamiliar surroundings, for this is not your bed. This is not your room. This is not your apartment. This place is alien. And yet it is familiar. Because as you look out of the circular window to your left, you see it. The cold, dark vacuum of space. It sits outside the ship you are in. The Orpheus. A simple explorer's vessel, an older model to your eye, boxy and rigid, like a jagged and rusted arrowhead floating through the inky blackness, this ocean of darkness. And it is the first journey you have embarked upon it. Indeed, it is the first journey that you have taken since.
Really don't understand how Victor could have gotten us a newer ship. And they'll stand up from their bed, kind of test that they've put their prosthetic leg on properly, and then they'll walk over to their bedside table and leaned up against it is a cane, a walking cane. And they'll head out to explore more of the ship and see who else, and I guess converse with who else I'm going to be working with.
Can you make an agility check for me, please?
Yeah.
So the way that this works is in this game, there are 6 attributes. There is strength, agility, logic, insight, empathy, and perception. And each of these have a certain amount of dice associated with them. The players roll the amount of dice that are associated with this attribute, and any sixes they roll are a success. So, Drake, how many dice are you rolling, and do you have any successes?
I am rolling 5 die. I guess my question would be,
Mm.
what is this for? So that I can see if I have any gear that helps me here.
So as the door begins to open, and it is a circular door that seems to peel out almost like a rusted petal, there is a as you begin to step on out, you are immediately met with a silhouetted figure against halogen lighting, and they are almost about to bump into you.
Okay, I'll roll. 3 sixes.
So surprisingly deftly, you just move out of the way. As in front of you, you see a rather young looking figure, but one that you know very, very well, as Ito Izuku, also known as Izzy, stands before you, handsome, with brown eyes and a long black fringe bouncing over his features, and his fairly muscular torso framed by a white t-shirt and grey overalls that are tied around his waist. And he just, oh, whoa! Hey, man.
Hey, Izzy. Sorry, were you coming to meet me, or I really need some coffee?
No. Here, have some of mine. And he just like hands you a flask and just presses it into your hand.
Yeah, no, thank you.
You overslept. You doing okay?
You want an honest answer or the answer in this conversation quick?
Whichever you prefer, man.
Yes, I'm fine.
Right. Okay, cool. Well, we were about to have our briefing. I thought I'd come fetch you.
Yeah, no, thanks. Yeah, and just like I think they downed everything in the flask and hands the empty flask back to them. Come on, I'm laying up for it as is. And
Well,
I'll speed walk in the direction of the debriefing room.
Oh, okay. And just sort of like trotting to keep pace with you. You move through these circular corridors, and the sort of gantries beneath you are corrugated iron, and you can see that here and there are rusted patches through which there are the blinking lights of the mechanics underneath. And you can see that flickering lights that sort of strip across the ceilings of these curving circular tunnels flicker, casting these juddering shadows across the darkened, rusted metal all around. This is an old and, in your eyes, not very well kept ship. As Izzy just follows alongside you, and I have something stronger if you'd like.
I probably need it after the debriefing. Are we going to learn why Victor got us this rust bucket for this mission?
Well, yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's better than most things I've piloted, to be often. And he just sort of like hits the ceiling, and but honestly, I'm more surprised seeing someone as old and rusted as you in this thing.
Hey, Victor asked me for a favor, and I've been land-bound for long enough.
Yeah, about that. And he just sort of stops, and you, sure you're okay? I mean, after, I just didn't expect you to be up and about so soon after,
Izzy, I appreciate it. I'm fine. From the looks of things and just from the little I know already, you're going to need a doctor, and I'm the best you're going to get.
God help us all.
If only he was around to help out all.
Izzy just nods and, sort of pressing his long black hair behind his ear, just begins to press on. And as you walk down these long metal corridors, suddenly from behind you, you hear a sound. As just flying down. Can you make another agility check for me? As you just hear
Oh dear.
flying towards you.
This is perfect. I fail. I rolled 2 ones. If that
Now,
means anything.
I imagine you probably won't do this, but you do have an option. So whenever you fail a roll, you can choose to push a roll. Now, with this, you re-roll any dice that haven't yielded a 1 or a 6. Now, re-rolling gives you an opportunity to get successes, but for any ones that you roll, there will be dire consequences. Now, Drac, would you like to push this roll to avoid, and I cannot stress this enough, a bird?
A bird.
I just rolled all ones with this. No, absolutely not. I'll happily fail this.
There is a thunk as just knocking your head to one side, this bird just flies past you as you see this black shadow, raven-like, but there is a strange red sort of glint in this eye as it flies past you, just
Damn it.
and flying down the corridor ahead of you into what looks like a large open room ahead. And Izzy, you hear him walking behind you.
Very funny. And they'll just keep walking. We're not gonna look at Izzy, just keep walking in.
The sound of your cane echoing against the corridor. You eventually come to a rather large, round, and circular room. It almost looks like a plate, sort of convex, and here and there you can see touch screens and very chunky buttons just built into the wall. No windows in this room. The light, such as there is in space, is not natural here. Instead, there's strip lights around the ceiling, the blinking of various lights around the room, and you can see that in the center of this, even as around the walls, a variety of tunnels and doors stretch out in different directions. There is a round table in the center as well. Upon this, you can see a figure slumped over, and you can see that in their hand there is mostly empty glass. But as you look up, you see as this bird flies away from you, it just begin to just slow and begin to fall onto an open, stretched hand. As someone on the other side of the room just begins to bring this raven in. As Fiona, would you like to describe the individual that is
Absolutely.
a resting place for this bird?
Yes. So Hester, she, her. She is a sort of 20-something younger woman, but she looks much younger. Her clothes seem a little bit out of sorts. She's got long copper-coloured hair, some very grey-looking eyes, and the work clothes she's got like overalls on, but they're clearly of mishmash, like as if you're like, one size fits all, but no size fits Esther. But you wouldn't be able to tell too much because it's definitely been patched together quite neatly. Like there's an arm from one clearly like long sleeve, and then maybe several cuts on the other, and all done up. So she looks like ready to work and stuff like that. But clearly there's been some work that's gone into her work. The fingers she's got are very smudged, like charcoal stuff, as she's been sort of writing down desperately. Looking incredibly nervous as she's sort of looking around as people are starting to come into the briefing room. Maybe just sort of like gently sort of like stroking the bird, looking around, just sort of, I guess, waiting expectantly to either be talked to, shouted at, or told to do something. Those three options. Basically, what I'm imagining is that, the intern, first day nerves, is a bit like, like, has probably been sent on too many missions where it's gone for a tartan paint or for a long wait and all that sort of thing, and so is sort of that sort of nervous energy of wanting to do right, which is possibly very irritating.
This is the individual, Chidi, you see across the room as this bird just adjusts itself on this figure's hand and
Yes. It's okay. It's okay. It's Tori. It's fine. Don't worry, Tori. It's fine. Doctor. Hello.
Hello.
I trust you slept well.
Sure.
If you want to talk about sleeping patterns,
No.
No, cool.
What I do want to talk about is maybe get your bird under control. Get it to at least look where it's flying.
Oh gosh. I'm sure Tori didn't mean it at all. Did you, Tori? Yeah. Look, I'm so sorry. I'll make sure to keep a proper eye on them.
Yes. What's your name again? Hester.
Hester. Yeah, Hester Reeve. It's an honor to be on the ship with you, Doctor.
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
this your first mission now, or?
Oh, I've done a couple of more local ones, but first mission here on the Orpheus. Great name, don't you think? I used to read some of them. And just basically any sentence she starts, instantly, like under the gaze of the doctor, just energy drained. Like,
The doctor just kind of nods and just takes a seat at the table, and just leans back and waits.
As you do so, and as the chair sort of scrapes back against the iron flooring, the figure that slumps, I think that's fair to say, over the table, just shifts a little bit as Hester, you watch as Tori just jumps off your hand
No.
and just
No.
flies down onto the table
Ah,
and just beginning to step forward a little bit, just begins to head over towards where a glass precariously balanced in sleeping, unconscious, hard to tell hand just begins to tip over, and there is a as this bird just begins to peck into this glass.
no.
And
Oh,
as this almost like an alarm clock, the figure begins to stir. As Darcy, would you like to
oh.
describe the figure waking from the table?
Ilmarinen, or Ilma, as he prefers to be known, wakes immediately and violently, snatches back the glass from this bird, and is immediately roused into wakefulness and begins to look around the room. The man is tall, but makes himself appear smaller. He's gaunt and thin, but lean and muscled in all the right places to do the job that he's very, very proud to do, and very proud to do it correctly. His two most distinguishing features would be the sort of shortish mohawk that runs down the center of his head, completely clean shaven on either side, and any other expanse of skin that you can see on his body is black, covered in tattoos. There is more ink than bare skin, and even some of the tattoos are made up of negative space, where one design has been added into another with some design left in the middle. He wakens and almost thinks of punching the bird, and then thinks better of it, but looks around, is immediately aware of who you are. Is it today?
Yes.
It's it.
Reaches for the bottle that had been filling the glass last night. Wait, we're going to work today.
Yep.
Reluctantly puts the bottle back down, but finishes what was in the glass.
As the bottle hits the table in front of you, Ilma, the sound of jukebox music fills the bar. As patrons laugh and talk, as moonshine and other illicit goods are poured, drunk, snorted, and imbibed, and it is low where you are. Low in Ship City, and away from the noise above. A few days ago it was cozier, warmer, less remote. And yet here you sit, in the outpost, a regular haunt for folks such as yourself. But what has brought you here today?
I'm trying to lie low. I'm trying to stay out of people's way. But somebody had a tip about a job, and I've got to eat. I need credits, I need food, and the booze is cheap here. So I'm keeping an eye out for Max, who is my contact, and trying to avoid the eye of every other patron in this bar.
As you place this empty bottle down upon the bar, you watch as it is picked up, not unkindly, fairly gently, by, as you look up, the proprietor of the Joshua, fairly sort of put upon, fairly rough around the edges. There is more than a little bit of stubble framing his tired looking features, but his eyes sympathetic, as they always are, just look at you.
I'm good
Well,
for it. I'm good for it. Just leave the bottle.
I'm not taking it away. I'm giving you a refill. Ilma.
I should have trusted you. I apologize.
That's all right. That's
Spill
fine.
away.
Also, how else am I going to rack up your tab?
I'm here willingly. You don't need to try. Where else am I going to drink? Been kicked out of every other bar in Ship City.
I heard it through the moonshine that Hester's looking for you.
Well, it's been a lovely evening, but I must go.
Well, you don't have to. If you don't, I mean, I don't mind the company.
It's not about you. I just would rather not bump into Hester, if it's all the same.
Fair enough. Well, how about I keep an eye out?
Looks at the bar, looks at the bottle longingly, looks around the room. It's quite quiet. Alright. She better not find me, though.
He pushes the bottle towards you and drink up, big man.
Gratefully take it.
As you sit and you drink, and as the quietness of the bar continues, and as you look out for Max, you hear footsteps approaching behind you. And they stop.
I'm already reaching for a hidden knife or a weapon.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
At least it's not Hester. I'll turn. Good evening.
A large, rough-looking Easter Egg Island head of a man just stood there as, looking at you, the Athenian wants to see you.
I don't really want to see her. Does that matter?
Well, tough luck. She's already here. Were you expecting Max?
Yes, I was expecting Max. The Athenian doesn't tend to do her dirty work herself.
Oh, tonight, she's made an exception.
I am honored.
Corner booth. I'll take the bottle.
I can carry my own bottle.
And
Looks
drink
it protectively.
Can you make a strength check for me, please?
Oh no.
I can try.
Goodbye, Ilma. We hardly knew you.
I get 5 for this. He's tougher than he looks. Yeah, 1 success.
You manage to just wrest it out of this large, statuesque individual, and as he just, you can see his eyes stern a little bit. Joshua just leans across the bar and, it's fine. I can sort you out, big guy.
Listen to the nice man. I'll go and see her.
And as he turns away and goes towards the bar, Ilma, as you move towards the corner booth, describe the individual that you see.
The Athenian is tall and willowy. She dresses in red a lot because she likes to show off that she can afford such fabrics. She too has a lot of tattoos, but not nearly as many as Ilma does. She is also gaunt, but elegant with it. She moves to best fit her figure and dresses to fit her figure. This is a very, very powerful woman, and she acts as if she knows it.
And as she looks up towards you, her eyes at once graceful and brutal, she sits in a leather corner booth and just gestures at you and, please, come and sit.
This is all a bit much. But he
Well,
sits.
I thought I'd roll out the red carpet, considering you've been avoiding me.
I'm not avoiding you. Our paths just don't cross that often anymore.
Well, word on the street is you're a man much in demand.
By some people, yes. By you?
She gestures to Joshua. Let's talk. As in the briefing room on the Orpheus, you watch as Izzy just sits down near to you, and you can see that Chidi is on the other side of the table. And as Izzy sits, just looking across at your empty glass, want to top up?
Not when we're working. I like to keep a clear head. Relatively.
Okay. And Hester, as you hear Ilma say this, from down the corridor, you see a shadow just stretching out round the corner as footsteps make their way towards the briefing room, as coming through one of the circular doors. Kash, would you like to describe the figure that we see?
Yes. Coming around that door with a very slow but steady walk is a man in his late 40s. Actually, you would think he looks a little bit older, but he says he's in his late 40s. Lean build with a very athletic physique, rough edges, grim face. He wears a thick black mustache on his upper lip and has the sides of his hair in an undercut, like shaved in an undercut. He wears military clothes, like jacket, pants, both made from very thick material with lots of pockets to put stuff into, very heavy tactical gear. And he walks in with a very stern look on his face while he holds a paper, like a small brown paper bag in his hands, slowly munching away on some peanuts. And he just walks in and observes the room, kind of looks from one side to the other, and then just does a little grunt like, "Hello, everyone. How are we faring?"
Great, sir. Absolutely great, sir. Couldn't be better.
Very nice to hear. Who are you again?
Hester, sir.
Hester.
Hester, yeah.
Yes, Hester. Very nice to hear.
Yep.
Doc, and he gestures towards Chidi. Ilma.
Salutes with the empty bottle.
Yes, nice to see you awake.
Chidi laughs a little bit at that. The first sign of emotion from Chidi.
For you, anything.
As you step into the room, and as the rustling sound of paper in your hand echoes about, Kash, I'm going to ask you to make an insight check for me, please.
Ooh.
Oh, no.
Insight. I have 4 dice for insight, so let me just quickly roll that. Maybe he's so focused on his peanuts. I think he is, because I rolled no 6.
No. Don't talk to me before I had my peanuts. Yeah.
As you walk into the room and as you exchange pleasantries, feel a soft tickle in the back of your senses. Tickle, almost a scraping, almost as though something has pressed itself into your skull between the bone and the brain. And not unkindly, just stroking as you hear, excuse me, old man, excuse me, old man, as you turn around and you are not in the Orpheus. You are in your bed. You are in your room, in your apartment. And as you look around, several days ago, what is the environment you find yourself in?
It's a very small apartment that German shares usually with his husband. It's well kept, has a few small houseplants, you could call it, that he loves to take care of. He also has a very expensive looking chessboard that is nicely displayed on a table that is right next to a big window looking out over Ship City. And I think for him, everything looks just very normal, very how he's used to.
As you look out and you see the view of the city, and you see the soft red glow that emanates from one of the nearby moons, reflecting the light of a long distant sun, you see a figure sat on the balcony, just looking out. And as he just turns around and fixes eyes with you, what does this individual look like? Your husband, Marco.
My husband Marco is a few years younger than me, looks like the complete opposite of German, clean shaven, round face, very warm eyes, loving. And he actually sits on the balcony as he looks toward me, and I see him kind of having his hands resting on his legs, looking toward me maybe a little bit longingly, almost like asking for me to approach. And I think German will know that Marco wants him to come out onto the balcony, and he'll do so, walk out, and then kind of place his hand on his husband's shoulder and say, "Do you need help, darling? Do you want to go back inside?"
Just places a hand upon your shoulder and just a little bit longer.
"Okay, I will stay with you if you want." And he gently pushes his lips against his forehead in a very gentle embrace. "But let me get you a blanket, okay, Marco? It's getting rather cold."
You were stirring again. Bad
What do
dreams?
you mean? No. I was just very hot under the blanket. You know, if- it's nothing we should talk about right now. Maybe I'm getting sick.
Well, and as you say this, can you make, I don't know what check this is, can you make an empathy check to see
Mhm.
whether he believes you?
All right, that's also a 4. Let's see. I rolled 1 6.
You can see worry there in but an instant before it is gone, before Marco just nods and, well, don't go back to bed. We've, Silvana will be here soon, so I do need a little bit of help with the potatoes, if you don't mind.
Of course, I don't mind. I'll go get you that blanket and then I'll start peeling the potatoes. Let me know when you want to get back inside, okay?
Yeah, well, she's seemed urgent. I'm not sure why. She's not been round in a while.
I mean, you know how she is. She's very busy, but she'll make time for her parents, so maybe she just has something nice to talk about from work. Just stay positive, Marco. You don't need to worry about her so much. She keeps telling us all the time. We need to let her go her way.
You know what? Actually, yeah, I think I'm done out of here. It's getting a bit chilly. Maybe you're right. Would you mind bringing me in?
No, of course not, darling. And he will slide his arm under Marco's shoulders and kind of lift Marco's legs up into the air and then carry his husband from the balcony back into their living room and gently place him somewhere where he can sit and start peeling the potatoes with him.
You do so, just peeling in marital bliss. This small, cozy comfort against this dark and often uncaring universe. But as you sit there, after some time, there is a knock on the door.
I slide back the chair that I'm sitting on and I walk towards the door, expecting my daughter, and I open it.
As you open the door, And as on the Orpheus you look around behind you, scratching at your brain, you see Sylvana walking down the corridors of the ship towards you. She coldly brushes past you and sits down at the table next to Izzy. As Hester, as you watch, Jeremy sort of almost stood seemingly distracted, off balance. It is hard to tell, but as this younger woman who you understand to be his daughter just moves in also on this mission, Hester, all around you, you hear ravens. Ravens filling the air around you as you are stood a couple of days ago in the roost. Shelves upon shelves upon shelves of ravens, birds and birds and birds, crying, cawing, shouting. And as you stand there, with Tori just sat in front of you, how do you feel amongst these creatures, alien as they are?
I feel, whilst it's alien, it is a place that I kind of need right now. I feel like I need that space, I need that farness away, and just to lose myself in this crowd of feathers and cawing and stuff. It doesn't feel like home, nothing can feel like home, but it feels like just something as a barrier to what is outside. So for now, as weird as it sounds, I feel oddly comforted by the cawing and the feathers and probably the copious amounts of bird poo everywhere.
What's outside, Hester?
Good question. Bad things. Very bad things. I'm just taking my time at the moment, just scribbling in a little notebook that I have, the different sort of designs I was trying to work on. Anything to keep away from thinking about Victor and my family and the business, and just focus on that. Any thought that go to the outside, I instantly try and bring it back through listening to the sort of weird that sort of meditation sort of style of like just focusing on the scratch of the pencil, the lead on the paper, the birds cawing, just trying to focus on that and keep my breathing, because if I think about it too much, my breathing would go up. I would start to hyperventilate.
You mentioned Victor.
I did.
When was the last time you heard his voice?
A day or so ago, but it wasn't. It was like a voice recording, and he
So
was crying on it.
So it feels strange to hear it again now. Do you just hear, "Hey, Hester. Long time."
I look around, see if he's there.
Can you describe the man you left at the altar all those years ago?
Victor is well, he looks very different now, I would think. Very gaunt, very pale, skinny. His clothes too short for him, like you can see like his wrists and his ankles. You can see like discolored teeth, slightly wide eyes, a little bit bloodshot. Bags underneath them, sort of like a really greyish blue tint. I think he has lost some hair as well as the weight. Horrible sort of stubble, essentially, unkempt. But but it's still him. I recognize my Victor anywhere.
Hey, how are you doing?
I told you to leave me alone.
Yeah, no, I know, and I wouldn't bother you unless it was important. I came to say sorry if that's anything.
What do you want?
I want to help you, us. I want to help. I have a way for us to get our get your money back, clear our debts. That's why I'm here. I'm here to make amends. I have an opportunity.
I'm sorry, you come here. You come here to me after leaving me voicemail after voicemail after voicemail. And I've asked you to leave me alone after what you've done.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, I know, and that's what I'm trying to make up. You see, I'm trying to make it up. I'm an explorer now. I'm part of the guild, and I'm straight now. I'm straight. I'm not like I used to be. I'm on the straight and narrow. I swear.
You took my family's business.
Yeah. Yeah. I know, and I can't look. I'm trying to make up for a lot of shit that I did, and a lot of that shit was to you. And I want to make it up to you, and I can. I haven't. Hest, I've got an opportunity. I swear. I swear I'm good for it. I really am. I got a team and everything. I got people. I got people that I'm paying with a budget.
I think Hester just thinks back to every single time Victor has just said, "Can you do me a favor? I've got a plan." And she knows in her heart of heart that she could never say no. Well, go on then. What is it?
Okay. Okay, and he just sort of gears himself in. Okay, so like I said, I'm an explorer now. I'm legit, and on this there was something recently on the scanner, something big, something this mass, big, valuable, and now obviously we make sure we're doing everything according to code. But I'm putting together a team of explorers, and I figure look, I'll be leading this team. We can go find out whatever this thing is, but in addition to doing our job, if we find anything at all, anything the guild won't miss, then anything that's valuable enough to show at the black market, we can sell, and we can clear our debts with, every the mob, the Black Toad, everyone, and has it's legit. It's legit. Like, we'll be doing a job, but we'll be scraping a little off, and I need you. Has like I can't fucking do it without you. Like I need you, because there's no delving a expedition without a bird. And he gestures
You
to
need a
Tori.
bird. You need a bird. Of course you need a bird.
No. Hest, I swear I need you. I need you, and if you still know Ilma, that would be really useful as well. That is it. I just need the two of you, and
no.
that's it. No, Hest,
You
I
want
swear.
Elmer in this as well? God, you
Yeah.
come to me. I don't believe it. Oh God.
Hest, please. This is my way of making amends, okay? This is my way of making amends. We can do this, okay? We can do this. You and me, not like the old days, but it's a whole new thing. It's a new me, okay? I swear, okay? But I need to know now, because I've said we're traveling out in a few days. I need an answer now.
I just feel like you're just if you've said you've setting yourself on the straight and narrow now, and then you're just over to screw. Just gonna screw people over. How can I trust that? How can I do that again? What makes you not? What makes you think this is going to be any different?
Look, I got nothing except my naked promise. That's all I got. I don't got anything else. But I hope I have you. Please.
All right, fine. I'll see if Elmer is about if you really need him. Don't understand why you can't contact him.
I'm still working my way through legit society. I'm still
Of
here.
course.
Yeah.
course.
Thank you. I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate you all being here. As you are broken out of your reverie and in the meeting room, all of you look to see Victor walking into the briefing room. Seriously, it's so good. Thank you all so much. I see so many smiling faces.
Chitty is
And-
scowling at Victor.
So Zilma.
Hey, Doc. First of all, thank you all for joining this expedition. I know that Delves are always a daunting prospect, but with a crew like this, I've got no doubt that we'll be in and out before we know it. You've all been waiting patiently, I guess. You all want to know what it is.
Yes, we do, Victor.
Okay, well, a few days ago, and he sits down in front of you all. The explorers. I mean, we picked up a signal. Something big. And the last time Ship City came upon anything like it, it provided us with resources for a month. Foodstuffs, plant, all that kind of stuff. Hence why we have. And you see, German, that he gestures towards your daughter. Hence why we have the Gardeners Guild with us. And again, thank you very much, Sylvan, and it's great to have you with us. So the hope is that we're going to find something similar. We hope, but if not, we find what we can, and Ship City endures. But the journey there will be around 3 days, full speed. When we arrive, we get in, we get out, we find out whatever the heck it is. We do a little bit of exploring, and then once we find, we have everything that we need or everything that we can carry, we head back, and we're, back home within a week. It's in and out. It's nothing. That's all I know. But if anyone has any questions, please raise hands. I'll let Jazz.
Elmer pulls a cigarette out from behind his ear, where there is always a cigarette, and lights it. And takes a long drag and says, "So you don't know what it is?"
No, we don't. It's big, but like I say, big is promising. Like I said last time, we got a whole bunch of resources, and we're a small crew, admittedly, on a slightly older. And he hits the side of the wall. Say janky ship, but we it's good. I trust you all and your skill set, and I think we got a good thing. Don't you? Yeah.
This ship is about to fall apart. I'm
Sure.
probably older than most of the rest of this crew put together, no offense, Doc. Has anybody here actually seen active delving before, besides myself and the doctor? Or is this just baby's first trip out for everybody? And we're
Ilma,
here.
I'm sure that you're not trying to be insulting here, right? We are all experienced in our own way and right. I am, Doc is. About this young one, I'm not so sure, but I can speak for the rest of the people around here. They are the finest crew we could have gotten. Is it not, Victor? You seem so sure of yourself.
No, exactly what the old guy said. No, like I trust you all, and I trust your recommendations, and like I say, I think we got a good thing here. And just briefly looking across to you, Hest, he just
Does not look at him at all. Deliberately, eyes away.
you miss the little wink he gives you as he turns back, and with all of us and of course, our other crew member, and looking towards the side of the room, the door opens and another figure steps on in. As Chidi, you are met with a very familiar face. As the lights of Ship City illuminate your steps, as you walk down these many crisscrossing gantries and steps down towards the landing pad, where even from a distance you can see the Orpheus, and you can see a number of individuals stood around, both familiar and unfamiliar. You see German, you see also Victor down there, the man who hired you. You see a number of other individuals you do not recognize. You see Izzy, but in amongst these, deep in conversation with the youngest of the group, Sylvana. From a distance, you swear your eyes are failing you, but as you get closer, can you describe what your ex-wife, Talia, looks like?
Damn you, Ed. I didn't know Talia was going to be in here. Talia is a very kind of slim, slender woman, about the same height, maybe like half an inch taller than Chidi. White with strawberry blonde hair, usually tied up in a long ponytail. Like the ponytail itself probably reaches like the middle of her back. Very pleasant and soft-spoken, so I'm probably like seeing signs of that. Almost seems to hold himself like timidly when speaking to people, but when they actually speak with the language they use, they're very clearly are confident in what they're saying. They understand and know that they know what it's talking about. And is one of the few people, as the viewers see, who can pretty quickly disarm Chidi. Just aside to them, as Chidi definitely kind of takes a step back and kind of just stares for a moment. There are freckles sprinkled across her cheek. To the point Chidi has looked at it enough that they can almost tell you how many freckles dot those cheeks, but it's been a while since they've seen them. Beyond that, just a nice, pleasant coffee at brunch. But seeing them now, they just freeze. I think they just freeze at the bottom of the spiraling, crisscrossing stairs. Just freeze and stare at Talia.
You see, as she's deep in conversation with Sylvana, just look up and doing a little bit of a double take in your direction. You go in. I'll catch up. And she pats Sylvana on the back and just clipboard in hand and wearing these sort of slightly heavier overalls over the top of her clothes, just begins to walk towards you from across the landing bay. And you can see the vastness of space beyond this as she is silhouetted against the clouds, almost and the stars, almost mirroring the freckles upon her face as she walks forward. It's been a long time, Doc.
What are you doing here?
I could ask you the same thing. I didn't know you were delving again.
Victor asks, and I've been planet bound for a while now. I need to get moving again. Are you on this? Ty, are you on this mission?
Yeah, I'm here to accompany Sylvana. Not often that Gardener's Guild goes on delves, so
Yeah, for good reason. This could be dangerous. What do you mean you're going on this delve?
Well, she's more than capable, but she's new. I'm here for, I think, as we phrase it, botanical backup.
Okay, wait, hold on. So you and Sylvana, does German know that Sylvana's?
I think that's a conversation that needs to be had. But
Talia, I understand it's been a while, but I really don't think you should be on this.
the feeling's mutual, if that helps. How are you, Chidi?
I'm fine.
Want help with the stairs?
No, I can handle it, thank you.
Okay.
Probably gonna see what my quarters look like and get some rest.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll see you on there. And she just begins to head back over to the ship. As Jeremy, as you also stand on the landing pad, and you see your daughter speaking with Talia, Chidi's ex-wife. And as Sylvana passes away and shooting quite a cold look towards you, and you are brought back once again to the conversation that you had in your kitchen when she came to visit. As sitting in front of you, potatoes untouched in front of her, she goes, so I'm going on my first delve. Dad,
Petal, I don't like that idea. Because your father and I, and he kind of gestures to Marco sitting next to him. We don't want you to get hurt. Don't misunderstand. But you are so. How do I phrase this, Marco? You are fragile, and we don't want you to break. Because you are very, very dear to us, and we would hurt if you were hurt. Do you understand?
I do. But and she pushes her food forward and away from her as she just leans on the table. I have been asked to be brought onto the team, and we're heading out in a few days as soon as we complete our next cycle, and I would like to go. I think it would be good for my work, and I think that I don't know. I think I'm ready. I thought that
No,
you would be
but
pleased
Petal,
for me.
you are a gardener. You are not someone that goes on delves. You are tending for plants. You are supposed to make the city lush and green and provide us all with food. You are someone that is supposed to sustain life here in our home. And believe me, this vast darkness out there, it's not something for someone like you.
Okay, so how forgive me, Father, but how can I do that when I am stuck here? Our gardens are dying, Father. They're dying. And no one seems to know how to do anything about it. So I am looking after a garden that is dying.
Yes, but
Unless I go.
I'm sure there's a way to figure out how to solve this problem here in Ship City and not out on a delve where you do not belong.
Well, it is too late because I've already agreed to go, and Talia has agreed to go with me as well.
What?
She is going to be accompanying me, so we will be fine, I think.
No, you will not be fine, especially not with that woman at your side.
What do you mean, that woman? She has been looking after me for the better part of, she has been teaching me what I do.
Yes, but what you do and what Talia do is work that is. Marco, help me. Say
Okay,
something to her.
I'm going to wash up. Are you done, darling?
Fine. But maybe I could accompany you as well. Just look
No.
after you a little bit.
No, you don't. You don't have to do that, Father. You don't.
I think I have to.
No, I'm an adult now. You don't have to do that.
You are not an adult. You
I'm
are
not your
20 years
petal!
old. Yes, you are. You were always my petal. And you always will be. You're my daughter. Of course I do not want you to go out into the vast nothingness and possibly lose you. You're making me sound dumb now. Why is your father even running off like this? This is all making me very, very angry, and I do not want to be angry with you.
Well,
You
then,
go on the delve, and I will come with you, and we will not talk about this further.
she just crosses her arms and... Okay. Fine.
Okay. Fine. I'm sorry I yelled at you. I should not have raised my voice like this. I love you very much, Petal, and I'm very proud of what you do. And I would like you to finish your potatoes now.
I'm not hungry. And she just stands and... Daddy, thank you. And you just see Marco just awkwardly nod at her from the kitchen as she turns around at you and... I guess I'll see you at the mission.
Yes, colleague, I will see you there. It will be fine, Petal.
And as this final word lingers in the air, you watch on the landing pad as Chidi begins to descend the stairs, and Talia begins to walk back towards you as the engines of the Orpheus begin to light up, and you see your daughter Sylvana, your flower, your petal, just walk past you, brushing by coldly, and reaching out not for your hand, but you see to the hand of the pilot, Izzy, as they just squeeze hands and enter onto the ship. And as you sit there in the briefing room, as Talia enters, and as Chidi sits on the other side of the table, and as Ilma cradles a near empty glass next to you, and as Hest stands to one side, and as Victor leans forward on the table, you see Sylvana and Izzy's hands resting on the table, their fingers interlinked, as Victor just leans forward. All right. Let's go. And that is where we're going to take our break. Elma.
Not like that. That's not what I meant.
You sit in the corner of the outpost. The hustle and bustle of the patrons around you, filling the air, but all disappearing like wind against the ocean, mingling into white noise around you as you sit there. The Athenian lounging against the leathers and just looking at you. So, no note, no letters.
I didn't have anything to say. What? Did I leave something unclear?
I just missed you is all.
What is this really about?
I apologize that you were expecting Max. I am afraid Max is otherwise engaged.
Okay. Do you have the
What?
job for me that Max was going to have, or is this...
Well,
Are we doing something else here?
we're doing something else. Word on the streets is that Hester is coming for you.
I've been told she's looking for me, but I'm trying to avoid her.
Right. I want you not to do that. And when
Mm.
Hester comes for you, I want you to take the job.
No. You can't be serious. You're always serious.
I didn't know I had a reputation for joking.
We wouldn't do to get that out, would it? What? You know how it went the last time. I can't work with her again.
And yet, here we are, Ilma.
Why? What's the job? Why is it so important?
It is less about the job and more who is on it. And after all, some things are best done out of view of good society.
Damn it. You can't get anybody else for this.
No.
You won't get anyone else for this.
No.
This isn't fair. I've
Well,
paid my dues.
You haven't held the job yet.
I can probably guess. Go on.
Well, and she clicks her fingers and the large Easter Egg Island man just lumbers over once more. Some things can only be done in the Great Dark. And you see the man just produce a file and place it upon the table between you. After all, in space. And she just slides it across to you. No one can hear you scream. And as she opens it up, I am not going to tell you what it is you see inside. I'm going to send it to you in a message so that no one else knows.
I don't like that one little bit.
I'm sure it's all fine, you guys.
No.
And as you take in the fold, the Athenian just leans in. It was so good to see you, Ilma.
Do you never wonder if this is beneath you? That perhaps there's something better you could be doing with your vast intellect and all the connections and power you have? This, really?
Occasionally. But that's why I have people lower than myself. Ilma.
Charming as always. And he'll stand. Turn his back
She
and walk away.
grabs your hand as you do so. It is a
Careful.
sensation you have not felt in a very long time.
Careful, or somebody might accuse you of having a heart.
It was good to see you, kiddo.
Till the next time you need something, Mother.
She gives your hand a squeeze. And you are back in the briefing room as Victor just leans forward and... Right, okay, so, I would say we've got about an hour until we are out of Ship City range, so if there's any last business, any messages, any goodbyes you need to say to loved ones before we come back, make them now. But until then, 3 days. Let's get to know each other, okay? And he just pats the table and stands and heads on out.
Ilma immediately picks up the bottle and refills the glass.
Jeremy, you see Sylvana, as soon as the meeting is done, just whisper to Izzy, and he just nods, and she just stands and immediately leaves the room as he just gives you an awkward smile and, right, well, I'll go pilot the ship. That's my job. Okay, nice to meet everyone. Bye. And he just,
Yes. Bye.
and sheepishly looking at you, Jeremy, he just immediately, just like, just immediately walks out as the door just behind him.
I think at this point, German will very briefly think about following him, but then decide against it. And he will instead step up next to Chidi and kind of lean towards them and almost under his breath kind of mutter, "Are you alright, Doc? I saw that she's also with us. Do you need me to fake a heart attack or something like this so we can get off the ship?"
Again, I think every single sign of emotion that's ever come out of Chidi on this ship has been in response to a joke from German. As there's like a small like chuckle, That Chidi lets out, and then they shake their head, and he says, "No, she's her own woman. I can't. As much as I would like her not to be on this ship, it's her decision. I can't really do much about that. Are you okay?"
No, but I will accept it for now. Because, as you say, there's nothing I can do about it. We are quite literally on the same boat. Do you understand?
Yeah, no, I understand.
Because we're on the same ship.
I'm just gonna take just squeeze their forearm. You don't need to explain the joke. Hold on. And they're gonna stand up from their chair, grab their cane. It's been a while. Let's get a drink.
Do you still drink, Doc? I thought you had stopped that.
No, I turn of phrase. I just need more coffee.
Very well. Let's get some coffee.
I'll turn to Hester and go, Hester, do you want to join in?
Uh,
We're a team now.
Hester has just been awkwardly standing there as if having that conversation but slightly on the outskirts and yes, oh yes, I if that's okay, Doc. And
I wouldn't
Sure.
ask if it wasn't.
oh, great. Yes, I would love to go for a drink.
Irma, I mean, are you ready? Got a head start, but coffee as well.
I suppose I should probably sober up a little. Irish coffee, though, that I could go for.
Because there's alcohol in it?
That's why they call it that, yes.
Yes.
Come on. I'll just lead the way.
Yeah, I go, oh right, and I just half step behind you, as eager but too eager, and then back, and just awkward anxiety as a concept, just walking down the corridor.
Anxiety as a concept is incredible. I think as we walk in, she would just kind of look over their shoulder and go, "Can you stop doing
Sorry.
that?"
Yeah. I will walk slower.
Not that. Just you have your whole. Just relax.
How?
It's a good question.
I just go, okay. I just keep walking.
Okay. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think all you can sort of hear is Hester muttering to herself along the lines of foolish person. Just keep cool. Just keep cool. Everything is fine. No one knows. Just muttering along behind you, but then sort of goes down into sort of a calmness and keeps the bird with her as she follows Chidi, and hopefully the rest of them will follow as well.
As you make your way down these corridors, most of them are indistinct from one another. Honestly, it is very easy to get turned around in a ship like this. It is old, and all of the color that used to be on these walls has chipped away. It's weather-beaten and worn and rusted, and the various sort of vents that hang down from the ceiling are dilapidated. Some of them you can see are even leaking moisture. It is an old ship. Older, certainly most of you would wager, than the Explorers Guild usually fields. It is strange to see the Explorers Guild putting such an old vessel out into the stars. But as you make your way through the ship, eventually you come to a sort of common room. There are a number of tables sort of set about, and you can see a coffee machine off to one side, which every time it activates kind of goes through this 5-minute motion of just and just you all have to stop and just be silent for a bit while, because you can't hear a thing. There is also sort of various cooking implements around, but these kind of sputter to life. This is a bare bones ship, and even in this communal area, the light strips above are just occasionally flicking in and out. Occasionally you just lose sight of one another altogether for 5 or so seconds before it will come back on. It's disconcerting, and it takes your eyes time to adjust before sight is stripped from you once again. It is strange, and it hurts your eyes, and it hurts your heads.
Once we're all sitting with coffees in front of us, I will add a glug of some indeterminate liquor to my own, and then reach over and add a slightly larger glug to Hester's.
Oh,
That's going to help. Trust me.
thank you. And then she just puts it down to one side.
Tori just jumps down and
You know what? We've got 3 days. It's fine. It's fine. I'm sure the bird will be fine. Oh, God.
I could get on with the bird. I could like that.
Yes, it is a very fine specimen that you have there.
Thank you. Thank you. Often people do hire me because of the bird.
Mhm.
It's a little bit better. One of the finest, aren't you, Tori? And then just gently pat. But if I guess like that might be like a as it's trying to take the coffee away. But okay, cool.
make an agility check for me.
No!
I'm sorry.
You set yourself up for that one.
I kind of did. Okay, well, I've only got 3. No successes.
There is a. You just feel a slight drawing blood as just on the tip. You just see down on the table.
That's fine. That's fine. You're not the first person to be mad at me today because I took away something. That's great. Thank you.
Oh, wait, Hester, I have something for that. And I think out of his tactical gear, one of the pockets attached to his jacket, he pulls a little sanitizing kit and he'll grab Hester's hand before she can even pull it away, and he'll start kind of bandaging it up.
Oh,
and
you
go,
really don't need to.
No,
Does-
it's fine. Believe me,
Okay.
you have to be prepared for everything, and we don't want you bleeding out on our ship.
Doing
Thank
the job
you.
better than I do.
Ilma and
Right.
Shibi, can you make insight checks for me?
No.
Absolutely.
No.
Insight. Always my insight. My insight is 3. Does not surprise me.
2 5s, but no 6s.
Oh, 1 6.
Ilma, you are enjoying your Irish coffee, but Chidi, just for a moment, almost imperceptibly, as you watch Jerriman just begin to sanitize Hester's wound, and as you look down almost idly upon the white surface of the table where these 3 distinct red drops are, you just see this slight shudder, almost like blood on the ceiling, but upside down, begin to just drip upwards before the lights go off, and then they're back on, and the blood remains still on the table. Almost quick enough that it seems like a trick of the light.
They grip onto the head of the cane a little bit as they see this happen, and then look to everyone else. And if they don't seem perturbed or even looking at the blood, just lean back in their chair and pretend they never saw anything.
The 3
Thank you. Be more careful next time.
Yes. Don't worry about that so much. Does your bird care for peanuts?
Well, I think Irish coffee has gone down well, so why not go for a peanut allergy as well? Yep.
And the sound of this bird echoing around. It is not an unfamiliar sound over these next 3 days of travel, punctuating the eerie silence and the hum of the engines that you hear every so often. The first day, you have an opportunity to send any messages you would like to back to Ship City. Is anyone doing so?
I think Jerriman is not sending a message back to Ship City, but instead, once he's kind of isolated back into his cabin, pull out a little voice recording machine. I don't know, like a technical device. I don't know where we're moving in, in the realms of technic here. But anyhow, he'll record a small voice message for his husband, Marco, and say something along the lines of, Marco, if you hear this message, I have perished. Together with our beloved daughter. And I would like you to know that we love you very much. And we hope that you continue to have a great life, even without us. I think this sounds a little bit, maybe a little bit extreme. Maybe I should try to re-record, and then it kind of stops. And he'll just kind of and push it back into one of his pockets and go, okay, I should have taken more of those recording things, but I'm sure it will suffice.
So yeah, I think Hester won't send a message, but she has scribbled what she would send, and it pulls it out several times, and maybe carelessly has left one of the pieces of paper out somewhere. And so if anyone wants to look at it, it's all scribbled out, but the word Magnus is there at the top of each letter, but never sends it.
Can everyone make insight checks for me, please? Or perception checks, rather. I'm looking for whoever rolls the most successes.
Nope, 0 successes.
No successes.
Ilma, I will say that as you patrol the ship, one of those 3 days, you see these letters all with the same name on. But speaking of Ilma,
Mm-hmm. I just send a very simple. It's not even voice; it's just a text message, and it would read. He's very aware that this is an old ship, that the messaging tech is probably not very secure, and so this is a heavily coded message using the Black Toad's like thieves' cant equivalent. To anybody who oversaw it, it would just read, "Dear mother, having a lovely time. Weather is good. Company better. Wish you were here." But what it is actually translating is all aboard, safe, progressing, nothing other to report, but expect success within days.
so over the next 3 days, as you travel, are there any things that you want to do to prepare for your exploration delve, or are there any conversations that anyone wishes to have?
I'll be like roaming around the ship for the most part, but I think especially on the first night on the ship, I'd be up fairly late after the nightmare, the recurring nightmare I had during that nap earlier today. I'm a bit more hesitant to rest, but I do remember that seeing the blood almost defy gravity for a moment. And I'll be in my quarters and I prick my finger and let some drops of blood hit my bedside table. And I just stare at it for a moment. I pull out a block of, like a very small block of wood and a carving kind of whistling knife and kind of just slowly whittle away the wood as I stare at this blood, seeing if anything happens.
Can you make an insight check for me, please?
3 6s.
You whittle. For the better part of a day, you whittle. It is strange in space. It's hard to tell the time passing. It once feels endless and stood still. But over time, however long it takes, you whittle this wood down. And you watch. You watch the blood. It does nothing. But as you just stretch it back, you look towards the room. You look around, you see the metal flooring, you look up towards the sink, you look up towards the mirror. There is a glimpse of nothingness there. Not a reflection of nothingness, but nothing. It is a nothingness that you remember keenly. But it is gone. But you can't help but feel that you will see it again.
They set down the wood that they've been whittling away at. And I think at this point it's taken on the shape of a small house cat. Chili's far from good at whittling, but just over time they've gotten at the very least decent. So you can make out that shape as they set it down. I should sleep. I should sleep.
Do you?
I lay in bed.
Sometimes that's all we can hope for. The rest of you, your 3 days. Is there anything you do?
I think one night German will walk up to his daughter's cabin door and he'll stand in front of it for a few seconds and then kind of reach out his hand to knock. But then he stops just a few millimeters in front of the door and just kind of holds his hand out, slowly pulls it back, and then he just shakes his head and walks down the hallway. And instead, I think he'll go find Chidi's door and knock on that instead and wait for Chidi to open.
Victor, is that you? If it's you, I'm asleep.
No, Doc, it's me.
Oh,
Could you open,
okay.
please?
Yeah, the door's open. Come in.
Hello.
Hey.
I would like to have a word, if it's all right with you.
Of course, any time. I kind of shift over and pat their bed for you to sit.
He does not sit. He just kind of shifts on his feet, and then he goes, I have an issue. I think I need some help. I feel like I've gotten out of touch with my daughter, and I don't know how to fix it. And I would like you... I don't know why I'm asking you, actually, but...
Yeah.
Maybe you can help me find the right words to brush things over with her, because I don't like this feeling of not talking. You know, I said something to her. I think I gave her the impression that I'm not proud of what she's doing. I think I gave her the impression that I would like to control her life, which is somehow, yes, it might be true, because I want her to stay safe. But I also want her to feel like I'm supporting her. So how can I express this?
They kind of rub their neck and look up at you. They're seated on the bed, and you're already a very tall person. So they're kind of craning their neck up to look at you and goes, please sit down if you're going to talk.
Yes, okay, I'm sorry. And he sits down next to you.
Do you know exactly what you said that pissed her off?
No, I don't, because I got very angry and I lost my temper. But I think I may have said something like, she's not ready, she's just a gardener. And I may have also said the word fragile at some point, which, now that I think about it, could have probably hurt her feelings a little bit.
Yeah.
So yes.
I will be honest with you. I mean, I think you realized it partway through spilling your guts to me just now. I'm maybe not the best person to talk to when it comes to smoothing things over.
Yes, but you're the only one that I talk to, because because of
Look, I can't tell you the words to use, but I could help. Maybe I could speak to Savannah, see what she thinks and feels, and report back to you. Then we can decide our next course of action after that.
Yeah, I would like that very much. I think that could be a good idea. Thank you, Doc. You're always of much help.
German, really, anytime.
So, about that ex-wife of yours.
Yeah.
Do you feel like sharing something as well, or is this just a me thing now?
I really don't. I don't know why. I think we're here for you, and that's fine. You don't need to deflect, German.
All right. You may call it deflecting. I would probably call it a friend looking out for a friend. But, I'm here for you if you want as well. You can always come and knock at my door.
Thank
Nope.
you.
Yes. Okay. I will go now. Bye.
Bye.
Sleep well.
I'll try.
Door just closes. Two of you. As Ilma or Hester, is there anything that either of you are doing over the next 3 days?
So I think, unfortunately for Hester, she just is in all the places where people are. Like people will come and have conversations and they'll notice she's there, and then they'll all leave. And she's like, yeah, okay.
We love the idea Hester was there during that entire conversation.
Imagine just in the corner of my room.
Yeah, just like in the closet, like I'm so awkward. I came in here trying to find the bathroom. No, I think no, I think like she'll be on. If there's a canteen or anything like that, again, she'll be sat on her own, and then other people will come in and have conversations, and she'll see. I think she'll actually have, over the course of 3 days, she'll have mapped out in her head where everything, where the statuses are. Like, we'll have an outside guest going, okay, there's some problem with family there, and all that sort of thing. It's like, okay, so I've got that. But unless someone comes and talks to her, she doesn't talk to anyone. And especially, she will avoid Victor at all costs. So yeah, that literally just get away from him wherever she can. But yeah.
On that note, perception check for me.
Perception, okay. All right. Well, don't fail me now, free league dice. Phew, he didn't. 1 success.
On one of the days, on the second day, in fact, actually, no, sorry, I tell a lie, it would be the third day. You sort of passing down one of the corridors. You have been doing your best to avoid Victor, and very, very successfully, actually, considering you are always where everyone else is, remarkably never where Victor is.
No.
But as you are walking, down one of the corridors, you just overhear that familiar voice once more, as in one of the nearby rooms, and you would know it to be the engine room. You just hear, "Goddamn piece of shit, how do you fucking work?" And just looking in, you can see that Victor is struggling with the engine, and after a moment of sort of like wrestling and eventually just fucking thing, he just kicks it. He just begins to walk away from it.
I will hide myself in a closet if there's a closet nearby. I don't wish to interact with him in whatever. I just go, and just.
I will say, with your previous success, you were able to do so fairly deftly. As he just heads on out and walking past you, I will, however, ask you to make an insight check for me.
Ooh, okay, absolutely. Okay, 1 success and 2 ones on the dice. But 1 success with the insight.
With your insight, and bear in mind this is the final day before you are due to reach wherever your destination is. You see a look upon his face, one that you have seen many times before, and one you hoped you would never see again. Victor has no fucking idea what he's doing. As Ilma, is there anything you're doing over these next 3 days?
Yeah, I think Ilma already kind of has a sense of that, and he does not feel good about this mission. And so the only thing that he can do is to take control of himself and the things that he's going to use. So he spends all 3 days checking gear, checking mechanics, checking in with his teammates, all the crew, making sure everybody knows their shit so that when we get there, there's no surprises. So there's 2 parts to that I would like to role play out here. One is that I would like to see if I can find anything useful. Wink, wink, GM. And the other is that I will definitely be going to have a conversation with Hester.
Oh, I'm in a cupboard.
So I will say, make a logic check for me.
Okay.
And the amount of successes that you roll will be the amount of successes that you as a group have to pull from later. So if you find yourselves in any situations where you require a success, you can use these ones later on.
Excellent. So the good news is I'm rolling 4 dice.
Now, I will also say that in addition to rolling on your own, other players can also help a roll. So this is an additional mechanic where if there is a tangible way in which each of your characters can help, up to, and this is very useful considering the size of the group, up to 3 other players can help
Wow.
with the roll, which would add an additional dice to the roll. So, bearing in mind this will help your chances, probably next episode, if you would like to help, or if Ilma, you would like to call on anyone to help you, you may do so now.
Yeah,
Is-
absolutely.
Is this a role to find stuff, or is it to check gear? Because I guess the find something, wink, wink, feels very specifically Ilma.
Don't worry about
If
that.
it's like, so I don't know if I can help with that, but if it's like double checking the gear we have, I can help with that. Because one of my quirks, which is the thing we have, is literally triple checks everything. So
Perfect.
I think we both run into each other triple
Doing the
checking
same
gear.
thing.
You know what? With that, I'm going to say, this is wildly OP, but I'm going to do it anyway. You triple check things, that's 3 dice. So, Ilma, you
makes
get
Whoa,
Oh, yeah.
3
incredible.
dice. Jerriman or Hester, is there anything that you are doing to help with this roll?
I think if Ilma advises us to triple check everything and to look at all our gear, if everything is in place, if everything is functional, I think German will also pull through and make sure that also not only his gear, but also the gear of other people who'll try to check and supervise and see if there's something that he can maybe tweak a little bit in order to make it function a little bit better, then yes, he'll try to help in this role.
Lovely. So add another dice.
Another one.
And Hester, are you doing anything to help?
Yeah, I guess I think people are just openly talking about things once Hester is around. And so maybe again, I know we've sort of made it as like, oh, she's spookily just, oh, she's behind me at all points. But like, I think maybe on the flight deck, for example, maybe the pilot turns around and I'm just studying a chart, and so I think I've sort of geared myself up, but maybe sort of like prepping the bird as well, like indicating like because again, we've been on a couple of very localized, maybe training missions and stuff like that. But I think just getting the ready, making sure the bird is in peak condition to sort of sound out and stuff like that. But it doesn't necessarily help with equipment in that sort of sense. But I'll be ready with my stuff, I guess. So I don't know if that will give an extra die or not.
I will say yes, it will.
Oh, so kind.
Add your additional 5 dice to this roll.
Whoa.
And
5 total?
Yeah,
five-
yeah. We've got the triple
So-
check thing from Chidi.
Yeah.
7, 8, 9. Okay. My logic was 4, so I'm rolling 9.
Whoa.
Okay.
I don't even know if these are all going to fit in my tray. Let's go. Oh, that one's cocked. That's 1 success and 1 cocked.
Okay.
Oh
Reroll
my
the cocked one.
God.
Just one?
Just 1 success.
Would you like to push the roll?
This is really important to Ilma. This is key. He knows the importance of checking your equipment and making sure that you're prepared before you go out there. He will absolutely do what he needs to do.
Okay.
Please don't fuck. Oh my God, they fucked
For
me.
legal reasons, Pre-League is not responsible for the result on your dice. Is that not someone just put that in the Discord?
We have to cover our backs. That was 2 additional successes and 1 1.
Okay, so you have 3 successes that you can collectively pull from at a later date. So you have those. And when you roll a 1, let me just double check what
Nothing happens. I'm pretty sure nothing happens.
I don't know. You make a good case, but I don't
says.
believe you.
You reduce your hope by 1.
By 1.
That
by
is it,
one.
yes.
Oh, that's
So
fine.
reduce your hope by 1.
And reduce it 1 from there.
Okay. So as you prepare, and as you look over at Hester, who is currently sort of looking over maps and this bird, Tori, what is the conversation that the two of you have?
What are you doing?
I am doing my job.
Why are you reading that map for a system 2 over from where we're heading?
Well, I thought it'd be useful to learn how to read maps, so I thought I'd start with this one, Wilma.
You didn't already know how to read a map?
No, I did. It's been a little while.
I feel like there's more important things that you could be doing. How is beautiful Tori? Is Tori prepared?
Tori's doing well. Should be good to go.
Should be doesn't fill me with confidence.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll see. You know, yeah, it'll be fine.
No, there is no C. There is no fine. We make sure. This might be your first rodeo, this might be baby's first outing, but I've been out here many times before, and I've watched people die before. If you are not prepared, you will die. Do you understand?
Why do you hate me?
Because if you die, then I might die. And that's the part I really
That's not
care
what I
about.
asked, though. Look, I get it. You don't like me, I don't like you, and yet here we are in a tiny tin can, and we just have to be together. I get it. Just for once, just be nice. Just be nice. How hard is it? And kindness is free.
First of all, you came to me, if you'll remember. This was your job offer. Second of all, I'm very, very nice to the people who know what the fuck they're doing. And don't fill me with dread that I'm going to die. If you do right by me and the rest of the crew, I'll be nice, okay? If you make me die, I'll fucking kill you.
That doesn't make any logical sense. How can you kill me when you're dead?
I will make sure that you go down with me.
Oh, great. Cool. There's no blooming HR on this ship. I've checked.
As you say this, over the tannoy,
HR walks in.
over the tannoy, you just hear Izzy's voice. All of you hear this as, folks, you might want to come up to the bridge. I think you're going to want to see this.
Don't forget what I said.
Yes, I know. If you die, you'll kill me too. Great. Wonderful. Can't wait. 5 stars.
Just try and do the job.
As Ilma goes up, I'm like, I'm trying to... and just follows. Yeah, let's can't speak. And just follow after.
As you head up, and I'm assuming Jeremy and Chidi, as you also make your way to the bridge, as you enter, and you can see that there are a number of dashboards all around in this almost half pentagonal shape, and you can see these dirty, sort of grime-covered windows that look out onto the starry blackness in front of you. For a moment, you wonder where the lights have gone. Everything is dark. You would expect the sun to be shining through these windows, but as you look, and you see Izzy by the controls, and you see that Sylvana is next to him, as are Victor and Talia, all looking out. You see that they look upon a shadow moving across the starry blackness, vast, impenetrable, ancient and monolithic, and as the shadow moves, you see the light of the distant sun slowly being eclipsed as all goes dark within the ship. Your faces illuminated only by the blinking lights and dashboards around you, because whatever it is that lies before you, while being easily miles away equally, it is miles and miles long. Hundreds of times larger than your vessel. It takes you some time to make sense of the indomitable mass that floats past your ship, but as you look upon its black surface, you see, in amongst its mass, a large, 6-pronged shape reaching out. And you realize it is a hand attached to one arm, one of 2 that frames what you are beginning to comprehend is an almighty obsidian figure, still and silent, curled almost into a fetal-like position. As your ship's light passes across its stony surface, you see that this figure, this statue, this miles of This miles-long figure has an almighty tail wrapped around triple-jointed legs as one arm reaches out and another clutches around the area around its chest, as an eerily human face, bald and with neither nose nor lips, appears to scream out silently into the abyss. It is still unmoving, silent. And as you approach, Victor just looks out. Well, I guess that's it. Huh. Oh, fuck me.
My thoughts exactly.
Well, smoke if you got 'em. And, I guess delving gear, right?
Let's get ready.
As you say this, Chidi, can everyone make a perception check for me?
Of course.
One success.
One success.
One success.
No successes. I think I'm being sick somewhere, to be honest with you.
I will say that for each of your successes, each of you notice something different. As you approach, and as this monolith floats before you, something begins to play from a nearby dashboard. You can see that there is text blinking across a screen. And Chidi, you would know that this text, old, extremely old, is an old Explorers Guild code. An emergency code. A distress signal. Wilma, you would know as you look at this slowly unfurling text, and as all of you slowly begin to just turn towards this screen on the dashboard, the numbers that appear, this code, this emergency distress signal, it is from an old model. An identical model to the ship that you were in. And Jeremy, as you look at this old code from an identical model to your own, you realize something else. It is not just an identical model. It is your ship. And it is coming from the heart of the statue in front of you.
This cannot be. There's something wrong.
As you say this, rather, Jeremy, almost in answer, over the ship Tannoy, you hear a voice.
Marco, if you hear this message, I have perished together with our beloved daughter. I want you to know that we love you very much. 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 We love you.
And it echoes and echoes and echoes. And then all is silent. And that is where we are going to end this episode.
I love this. Some time travel. Really good.
Blech.
Love is a strong word.
Amazing work, guys. Really
All right,
good.
everyone. That was so nice. Goodbye.
Bye
everyone.
forever.
We're going home now.
Turn the ship around, please.
This has been Free League Publishing's Coriolis the Great Dark, an incredible new system. Their quick start is available. Go check it out. The vibes are immaculate. The dread is real, and our players have been wonderful. But before we go round, and they can tell us everything that they are working on at the moment, and I can guarantee you will not want to miss a thing that they are doing, as evidenced by today. You can also check out Euphoria at all of the social channels below. Go and check out Free Free League as well. They have some incredible things coming up. Not only this, they also have a second edition of Alien coming out, which if you love cosmic existential dread, there's just more. There's more, and it's probably worse. But thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all for playing. And let us go around one more time. Drak, where can people find you and what are you working on?
Hi, I'm Drak. I played Chidi, or Doc, the lovable rare sunshine on this ship, of course. You can find me on all socials at Drakoniques. That's Drakoniques. I do everything teacher related, so writing, actually producing, actually performing, anything, everything else, everything teacher related. I'm doing or will be doing in the near future.
And Fiona.
When I'm not playing myself from 20 years ago, you can find me all over the internet doing What Am I Rolling, which is a twice-monthly tabletop RPG one-shot podcast where we do lots of different RPG systems, similar to the wonderful Free League ones that you see here, and also interviews with game designers. I also, if you're like, no, thank you, I also do the DM's Book Club, which is a weekly book club podcast about D&D lore and how we can improve it for all of our campaigns. So that's What Am I Rolling and the DM's Book Club, wherever you listen to podcasts. Thank you very much.
And Kash.
Hello again, everyone. I'm still Kash. I have been playing German and Rue, the German-speaking potato lover. And I also do a lot of TTRPG stuff, mostly in German. I'm part of two groups, one called Würfelbande and the other one is called Platonic Pals. If you know German, you can check it out. If you do not, you can still try to do that. And maybe if there's enough people that do it, we'll put some subtitles. Let's see.
And Darcy.
Hello, it's me, Darcy. I once again am one of the co-founders here at Euphoria with my very, very good friend Aida. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. We hope you stick around. Please subscribe. Please follow us on all the socials. We're here to uplift and platform European talent on a global stage because look how talented everybody here is, and more people should know about it. If you like what you see, you can join our Discord. You can support us on Patreon. You can check out all of our podcasts. I don't know exactly when this is airing, so I don't know exactly what joy and goodness else we will have on offer, but I can guarantee it'll be something really, really good. So hit subscribe, do all the good things, and come see more of what we have to offer.
Including what we have next week. It'll be dark, it'll be dangerous. I can't guarantee everyone will make it out alive, but we hope to see you there. In the meantime, have a wonderful week, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye.